everybody. Welcome to the Steady Steps podcast. This is Brian Volpone, and as always, I'm really happy that you chose to spend some time with us today. If you've ever watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which is a great set of movies, by the way, you probably remember one of the most powerful scenes in the films. Near the end of The Return of the King, Frodo is just utterly exhausted. The ring has drained every last bit of his strength. He's emotionally and mentally and physically spent. He has absolutely nothing left in the tank, and Mount Doom still looms ahead. And he collapses. He literally can't take another step. And then Sam, who's kind of the hero of the story, does something unforgettable. He kneels beside his friend, and he says, "I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you." And then he lifts Frodo onto his shoulders, and he climbs the mountain. And together they win the battle that Frodo wasn't able to win on his own. And that moment speaks to something that we all know deep down, but we often ignore. None of us are meant to carry our burdens alone. We need other people to help. And whether it's to ask for advice or to accomplish a task or to show us how to do something, sometimes we need to reach out to another person to get where we need to go. And yet, for a lot of us, asking for help feels like the hardest thing to do. So today we're going to explore why that is, and why learning to seek help might actually be one of the bravest and wisest choices you can make. Let's talk about that.
You know that feeling, right? That moment you're just stuck, staring at something, maybe getting a bit frustrated, and, deep down a quick question could probably fix it all.
Oh, absolutely.
But actually asking that question feels, monumentally hard sometimes.
It really does. It's strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it's this weird human thing. We're kind of taught that doing everything yourself is the goal, Peak competence. But what if? What if that idea is actually holding us back, messing with our progress, our stress levels, even like our relationships?
Oh, exactly.
So today, that's what we're diving into. Why asking for help can feel like pulling teeth, what it really costs us when we try to tough it out alone.
And crucially, how to flip that mindset to see asking not as a weakness, but actually as a sign of wisdom. A really smart way to connect and grow faster.
Yeah.
It's about being resourceful, really.
Okay, let's get into it then. Why is it so hard just to say, hey, can you lend a hand? Seems simple.
It does seem simple on the surface.
But it's not. There's this thing, researchers call it the independence bias. Basically, we soak up this cultural message that self-reliance equals capability.
Right. That you should be able to handle it all yourself.
Yeah, and if you can't, the little voice pipes up, maybe I'm just not good enough. We learned that really early on.
And tied right into that is the fear of being judged.
Oh, definitely. That worry that people will think less of you, see you as, incompetent or maybe even lazy just because you admitted you need help.
It's a huge barrier.
Yeah.
And then there's the other side, not wanting to be a burden.
That feeling like your problems will just inconvenience someone else, like their time is more valuable, so you just don't ask.
And what's really interesting there is how these surface fears connect to deeper stuff, like feeling genuinely unworthy of help.
Unworthy.
Wow. Yeah, it sounds heavy, but for some people, there's this core belief, maybe from past experiences or low self-worth, that says other people's time does matter more, or I don't really deserve support. It's less about the task, more about their fundamental value.
That's deep.
And another big one, control. Asking for help means giving up a bit of control, right?
Sure.
You have to trust someone else to jump in, maybe do things differently. And for people who like managing every detail, that loss of control can feel really uncomfortable. It's not just about getting the thing done, it's about how it gets done.
Okay, so it's complicated, lots of reasons why we avoid it. But let's talk about the flip side. What's the cost of not asking? Because I suspect it's higher than we think.
Oh, much higher.
Like just the wasted energy alone. Think about struggling for, say, 5 hours on something.
We've all been there.
When a 10-minute chat with someone who knows could have solved it, that's real time, real effort, just gone. Poof.
Absolutely. Some studies suggest professionals waste a significant chunk of time, maybe 30%, maybe more, just because they hesitate to ask for quick input.
Wow, 30%, that's huge. And beyond the lost time, there's the stress, right? Trying to juggle everything yourself.
Right. It multiplies the pressure enormously. It's a direct path to feeling overwhelmed, frustrated, even burnt out. It really takes a toll on your well-being.
And maybe the most surprising cost, missing out on connection.
Yes, that's such a key point.
Yeah.
We see asking for help as purely transactional, like, I need something from you.
Right. A one-way street.
But it's not. It's actually a chance to build trust, invite collaboration, deepen a relationship. When you don't ask, you're basically putting up a wall to that connection.
Huh. Never quite thought of it that way. Blocking connection by being self-reliant.
And zooming out even further, think about growth. Your own learning, your development.
How does that connect?
Well, if you always go it alone, you miss out on all the shortcuts, the wisdom, the experience others have already gained. You know, the stuff they learn the hard way.
Right, you're constantly reinventing the wheel.
Exactly. Learning becomes slower, harder than it needs to be. Asking for help, collaborating, getting mentored, that's how you accelerate your skills, build confidence faster. By avoiding asking, you're capping your own potential.
Okay, so the costs are pretty clear. Wasted time, more stress, missed connections, slower growth. It's quite a list.
Yeah.
So how do we start changing this? How do we flip the script in our own heads?
The biggest thing is the reframe. You have to stop seeing it as weakness,
And see it as...
resourcefulness, strategic thinking. Seriously, the most effective people, the best teams, they know how to tap into the collective knowledge around them.
So it's actually smart to ask for help.
It's incredibly smart. It means you're using all the tools available, including other people's brains and experience. And here's something else.
Yeah.
People genuinely like to help, most of the time.
Really? Even busy people?
Think about it. When someone asks for your expertise, your opinion, how does it feel?
Usually pretty good. Actually, like valued.
Exactly. It makes people feel capable, knowledgeable, helpful. It taps into a basic human desire to contribute. And remember, reciprocity. You've helped others, right?
Sure.
And you probably didn't resent it. Most people feel the same way when you're the one asking. They're often happy to pitch in.
Yeah. That's a good point. We assume burden, but maybe it's actually flattering.
It often is. Which leads to another important distinction. What is help anyway?
Meaning?
We tend to think of asking for help as, like, needing a dramatic rescue. Save me from this disaster.
Yeah, maybe.
But usually, it's not that. It's often much smaller. It might just be asking for information, a quick fact, a how-to. Or it might be more about teamwork, collaboration. Can we tackle this part together?
So distinguishing between asking for a quick tip versus asking someone to do your work for you.
Precisely. Framing it as seeking perspective or collaborating feels entirely different. It's not admitting failure. It's initiating partnership. Less rescue me, more let's figure this out.
Okay, I like that reframe. Partnership, not rescue. So if we're convinced, theoretically, how do we actually start doing this more? Like, what are some practical first steps?
Great question. My advice, start small, really small. Don't aim for the huge, scary request first. Ask for something low stakes, a quick opinion on an email, a suggestion for a resource, a tip on how someone does a particular small task.
Okay, that feels more manageable. Less intimidating.
Much less. And another key thing, be specific.
Right. Not just, can you help me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's vague and potentially overwhelming. Instead, try something like, could you spare 5 minutes to show me how you format this specific chart? Or what's your take on this one paragraph?
Makes it easier for them to say yes and easier for them to actually help effectively.
Absolutely. It defines the scope, reduces ambiguity, and maybe try phrasing it as collaboration. I'd really value your perspective on this, or would you mind walking me through your process for this part?
Nice. Makes it sound less like a burden and more like an exchange.
And one more thing you can actively do. Practice noticing the other side.
What do you mean?
Pay attention when people ask you for help. Notice how it actually feels for you to give that help. Often it feels good, right? Natural, rewarding.
Yeah, usually does.
So experiencing that positive side of giving help can make asking for help feel less weird or anxious. It builds that empathy muscle and reminds you it's often a positive interaction for everyone.
That's a great exercise. Or sort of rewiring your own associations with it.
Exactly.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the core message seems to be asking for help isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's about tapping into people around you, building stronger connections, and honestly just being more efficient and effective.
Couldn't have said it better. It's a tool for growth and connection.
A powerful tool we often leave sitting in the toolbox.
Which brings us to a final thought for you to consider this week. Think beyond just what you could get done if you asked for help more often.
Okay.
Think about who you might become. What new skills could you learn faster? What relationships could you strengthen? What variable insights are just sitting there waiting for you to simply ask? What are you missing by insisting on going it alone?
That's a powerful question. So the challenge for you, listening right now, think of one small way, just one tiny instance this week where you could ask for a bit of help, a suggestion, an opinion.
So try it.
See what happens. You might be surprised at the doors it opens.
Asking for help is, frankly, quite humbling. And when we peel back the layers, a lot of what keeps people from asking for help is pride or fear, or maybe even the story that we've been told about what it means to be strong. But real strength doesn't come from silence. It comes from seeking the right voices around us. Dave Dravecky was a Major League Baseball pitcher back in the late 80s. He mainly played for the San Diego Padres and the San Francisco Giants, and he was an all-star, and he played in the World Series, and he was having a very successful career when tragedy struck. Dave was diagnosed with a cancerous tumor in his pitching arm, and he underwent surgery, and he made a remarkable return to the mound. In his first start back on August 10th in 1989, he pitched 8 innings, he only gave up a run, and he earned the win. That comeback game is still considered legendary. Dave wasn't very much on my radar until that game happened, and then it was all over the news. And then in his next start, just 5 days later, pitching against the Montreal Expos, his arm broke mid-delivery in a horrific moment. The cancer had weakened the bone. I heard Dave speak on the radio later. He said it felt like his arm was flying towards the batter at home plate when he threw the pitch. He ended up having to have his arm and his shoulder amputated. Dave wrote his first book, Comeback, in 1990, and he told the story of his remarkable return to the mound after his cancer, and it was very inspiring. But I think what I found more life-changing personally was what happened after that. In his second book, When You Can't Come Back, which was published in 92, he explains what happened after his playing career ended. Dave went through a profound emotional collapse. He describes experiencing deep depression and an identity crisis because baseball had been his life. I heard Dave speak on the radio back in the 90s, and something he said probably changed my life. There's still today an unnecessary and unfortunate stigma about mental health, but it was far greater back then. Going to a counselor or a therapist was almost scandalous. It was something you usually hid. Dave made the choice to go to therapy for the issues he was having, and then rather than hide it, he shared his experience in an effort to encourage other people to get the help they needed. On that radio show, Dave made a comment, something like this. He said, "The Bible says that a wise man seeks counsel from others. I want to be as wise as I can be." And that was like a light bulb moment in my life. Therapy was one of those, I don't need that types of things, but this single statement changed that view. There's a lot to unpack in all this, and we don't really have time on this episode, but here's what I'd like you to take away. We all need help at times. Whether it's therapy and counsel and advice like Dave Dravecky, or something more simple like asking for help with a task at work, please stop going it alone. Ask for someone to come along and give you a hand. Asking for help isn't weakness, it's wisdom. And it's the opportunity to build community with people around you. If you're interested in learning more about Dave's story and his ministry, I'll put links in the episode description. And meanwhile, please leave a comment with your thoughts on today's study or on anything else you have on your mind. And also, please like and subscribe and share this with a friend. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.
You've been listening to the Steady Steps podcast. Thoughtful moments and practical insights to help you walk a more intentional path. This show is written and produced by Brian Volpone with M1016 Productions. Our theme music is generated with Mubert. AI voice performances and discussions are supported by Notebook LM, Gemini, and ChatGPT. You can learn more, listen to past episodes, or get in touch at steadystepspodcast.com or email us at any time at steps@steadystepspodcast.com. Thanks for listening and keep taking steady steps.